I'm not smiling about Baker saying it and there's some comeuppance or anything like that. I'm smiling about this diabolical question I'm about to ask you because I think it's going to blow the doors off this room. Anyway, Baker put it on his shoulder. Of course, he's playing hurt. Like it's one or two things with Baker. And I hope he's injured. I hope he's injured.
Clip that.
No, and it's because, let me tell you why. Because it's either he's injured or he just can't handle success.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
There's a lot of evidence of both.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I would rather him be, hey, he's 6 feet tall. He needs his whole body to throw. He and Emeka Egbuka have fallen off the face of the planet with each other. He double clutches now because he's afraid. Mike Evans caught everything, so maybe he just needs Mike Evans to be there for the next 30 years, it seems. But like there's so many things that he needs, and he's good. How good can he be? I think you're kind of seeing it right now with how good he can be. Like there's going to be ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and that's what it is. And I hope he's injured because the other side of it, I would think, is that you just can't handle success. Once you start doing commercials and once you start appearing on shows and things like that, you just can't do it anymore and you start falling apart. Like it's like he's the dad in Talladega Nights where it's going well, and then this is the equivalent of him getting thrown out of an Applebee's. Like, I'm not even trying to make a joke. Like, that's what I thought of. Like, things are going well. I'm going to cause a problem with the waitress, and I'm out of here. And he's going to have a problem with playing football, and he'll be out. Like, that's what I started to think.
So what's your diabolical question here?
So
here's
a diabolical question that's going to blow the lid right off this room. Open the phones, 216-474-0092. This is from a listener, guys. From a listener. We're not doing coming in hot today, so I'm doing the diabolical question right at the very beginning of the show. Chad in Westlake asked me a question. Quote, an idea for a topic, whose ceiling is higher, Baker or Sanders? 216-474-0092. Baker or Shedeur?
Well,
who's got the higher
next 4
ceiling?
hours by yourself.
No, you stay here. You stay here. You're in this
Good night, everybody.
with me, babe. Nuh-uh. No, fine. I'll be a man. I'll face him right off. You don't want to answer the question. He walked out of the room, Kayla. He walked out of the room, YouTube Live. He doesn't want to answer the question. Let it be known. I'm the first person in Cleveland media. To get Jason to walk out because he's afraid to answer the tough questions.
Oh, that's me. I'm afraid.
That's me.
All
Not even Garrett could do it to you. I got you to walk out of the room.
I can see
this
now.
guy.
It's going to be hell in the cell for the next 3 hours and 47 minutes.
I'll say it right now. I'm an excitable boy. How tall is Shedeur?
6'1".
Okay.
And 3/4.
I think he's 6'2". Okay.
6'1" and 3/4.
6'2" with a helmet on. 6'2". He's not as compact, which means he can do a little. He's a little bit. He seems a little bit longer. Okay. I'm going somewhere with this. He's taking a lot of hits. Now, Oklahoma is Oklahoma, right? What's Colorado before Shedeur Sanders got there? What's Jackson State before Shedeur Sanders got there? Yeah, I know the Cleveland Browns right now 1-2 with Shedeur Sanders, but the Cleveland Browns aren't that great. Let's be honest. If we want to talk about ceilings, I've seen it with Baker.
I mean,
I don't know I don't know yet where the
years.
I've seen it with Baker. I didn't say it was a fair question. I'm just saying it's a question that a listener sent me that the listeners want to talk about, and I want to talk about what the listeners talk about.
One listener wants to talk about.
We'll see. We got thousands of others, so we'll see. Do you guys even want to discuss it? 216-474-0092. If you don't want to discuss it, I'll back away. It's a 4-hour show. I can just go on until 8 o'clock, and we can act like this segment never happened. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
You're comparing a guy who's in his 8th year in the league.
That's what I'm going to do.
To a guy who's made 3 starts.
People say Fernando Mendoza is Kirk Cousins on steroids. How many years that guy been in the league? How many years has he been able to collect Cole's cash?
No,
I don't want to hear it.
It's Jared Goff, not Kirk Cousins.
Oh, it's Jared Goff
it's
now?
Goff. Goff is the comp.
Go to the internet. They say
I know.
Kirk Cousins.
I only listen to Dane Brugler, and Dane called him Goff.
I mean, that's still not a bad comparison. Kirk Cousins was a really successful quarterback at one time, and he did win last night.
I have to admit, when I first heard Goff and because actually Dane used both Cousins and Goff, and it was like, oh, that's the number 1 pick in the draft. But Goff was the number 1 pick in the draft.
He was.
And he's turned out to be a pretty good quarterback.
Yes,
and Kirk Cousins had a nice career for himself.
Jared Goff's played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then his team said, we don't want you anymore.
Who's got the higher ceiling?
Well, Baker's at his ceiling.
So do
This
you
is his
or do you
eighth
not
year in the
believe-
league.
Do you? I'm just going by what a listener asked me. Okay, Chad and Westlake, Chad on the west
Well,
side.
good. Go ahead and answer it.
Oh, I say Shedeur. I've seen less, which means I hope more, because I've seen it all with Baker. I think Baker's a guy who's going to take you to the playoffs. I don't think Baker's a guy who's going to. I don't think he's going to stand there during the national anthem of the Super Bowl.
And that's why they did what they did.
Totally backfired.
It did.
But I'm not here to discuss Deshaun Watson's ceiling. I'm here to discuss Shedeur's.
But it's important because, I mean, the Browns have been absolutely destroyed for the last year and a half for that trade, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But
it's still that performance last night does not.
A big part of why they did what they did, was because they didn't think Baker could get them to a Super Bowl.
So, are you trying to say that last night and exactly what I just said is justification for the trade?
The trade didn't work, obviously. It was a disaster.
Justify.
I have said since the day they made the trade, I understand why they did what they did.
See, I said by the day they made the trade, I understand why they did what they did, but I didn't want the quarterback, and I was on record many times over. I thought he was a mistake. I felt that I'd rather just bring in another veteran and let's see if we could do that. I thought it was too much. I didn't think he was that good. And you can ask Anthony.
Yeah.
There's no revisionist history. I know we love to do flip-flop stuff.
No, I don't flip-flop. I don't flip-flop.
Well, not you, but this station. We love to call each other out for flippity-floppity.
I don't know, man. We don't need to do a whole show on.
Oh, I'll do it
on Baker and Deshaun. And
Friday,
and
the holiday season. I'll do it. He just lost again last night. They're 7-7.
Yeah, the Baker thing is wild, and I don't know. I understand why they made the move that they made. Obviously, it blew up in spectacular fashion. It was a total catastrophe.
Yes, it did.
And it has wrecked the franchise for multiple years. And
yes, it has.
They still haven't recovered, and they're still multiple years away from recovering. But
you found a way to be even slipperier than the slippery wizard. You didn't answer the question. Who has the higher ceiling?
So what's Baker's ceiling?
Don't clip it like that. That's not how it goes.
I hope he's injured.
One more time. Sorry,
I said I hope he's injured because it's either one of the two things. He's either playing hurt, which again he could just fix because then he'll be fixed this offseason and he'll probably play well again at the beginning of next year.
Part of the story with him.
I understand that. Or the other thing is way worse. It's way worse to not be able to handle success than to be injured. Good Lord. I mean, can you not see the difference?
Of course.
Okay. Like, we're being serious here.
Yes.
All right. I know what you're trying to avoid answering, and don't think you're going to turn me away from that. Okay? That Limas thinks he's a slippery wizard, and ain't going to work like that. So you're going to have to answer the question here in a second, but let me say what I wanted to say. Go ahead. What were you going to say before I say it?
Well, now you got me so twisted and turned around. No,
that's what I do.
But the injury,
I take over for the slippery wizard when he's not here.
But the injuries are part of who he is also. When you're a 6-foot quarterback, injuries are part of the game.
That's true.
But in terms of the can't handle success, he's always been a guy who has to play with the, quote, chip on the shoulder. I hate cliches, but he's always better when people are talking bad about him and when people are counting him out. And as soon as he gets a level of success, doesn't always seem to go so well. So why can't it be both?
Because it would be insane if it were both. And I'd be so... I feel like our time was wasted if it were part of both. If it were injuries are one thing.
What is Baker's ceiling?
Because that's what you're seeing. This is the ceiling. This is
a team who will get you to the playoffs.
This is it. This is it.
Get you to the playoffs.
This is the ceiling. But what I'm pointing out is that this is what's made this whole thing so annoying with him over the last how many years. And it's really not even, well, it partly is with him. I mean, he's taking his shots at other fans and media and all that other stuff. I mean, good God. Like, people say, I'm annoyed by Shedeur. I go, Shedeur hasn't said anything about the fans, and Shedeur hasn't really said anything about the media at all. It's been fans and it's been other media members, but it hasn't been him. But when it comes to Baker, that was part of, you'd see this really good play, and then it's like, well, do I need to rub your nose in it for you to play well? Like, at some point, you just play well. Like Mahomes, Allen, Lamar.
Yep.
Like, they get to a point they don't need this chip on their shoulder. They create their own, but they don't need to have some real, true narrative. Like, every guy makes up their own. Michael Jordan, Brady, the whole thing. They make up their own disrespect. They do that. That's motivating. That's fine. But, like, that's real disrespect about how well you play or how well you don't play. Dude, you need to have that to really actually play? Because at some point, we're going to move on.
You have to be able to play.
Yeah. Like, because if this were to continue, like, this level of play with him, I know he's got, that $30 million next year? If this were to continue, that's it. And then you are another flash in the pan for the second time in your career. Made a lot of money. Congratulations. That part, hopefully you won't mess that up. But at this level, it's like, no, if you go into next year, you're 7-7. You've let this division slip away from you. You're letting any playoff hope slip away from you. And I could say, yeah, Mike Evans, collarbone. Well, okay, Mike Evans is on borrowed time as it is. Emeka Egbuka's young and good. You guys can't find each other on the same level. You have weapons galore down there. Like, there's no excuse. The only excuse would be injury. That's the only excuse. And that's why I hope it's injury, because the other one would be far worse. You can't handle success. You're a quarterback, for crying out loud. And so that's why, like, I've seen the ceiling with him. I've seen a good game. I've seen a whatever. I've seen a really good game out of Shedeur. They've only won one of those. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go, yeah, one guy's 6'2". One guy's elevated where he's been. Baker did certainly elevate the Browns, so you can make that argument. But, yeah, you know what? I'm always going to be more intrigued. It's why we play the lotto. I'm always going to be more intrigued by the what if and the possibility. Yeah, I'm going to say Shedeur has the higher ceiling. 216-474-0092. At least I'll answer the question. At least I got the pills to answer the question. You won't even answer the question.
Give me more grit.
Answer the question.
It's a ridiculous question.
Answer.
It's a ridiculous question.
A listener asked the question. I want you to do what the listeners
ask
tell
a lot
you.
of questions.
And as a radio show host, you should entertain those questions.
Good thing I'm not a radio host.
Yes, you are. You're hosting a radio show right now. You're wearing the headphones.
I'm impersonating a radio host.
Well, if you're going to do it, then you better do it. If you're going to be a cop and be impersonating a cop, you better pull some people over. So let's see it.
I think Baker's at his ceiling. He's a quarterback who can get you to the playoffs. Probably get you to championship game. Maybe, if everything breaks his way. There's a lot of quarterbacks who could get you to the playoffs. Are there not?
Yeah. So what, do you think they have the same ceiling is what you're trying to tell me?
I have no idea. Shedeur could win a Super Bowl. He could be out of the league in 2 years. I have no idea.
Well, you just answered the question. You say Shedeur. You said he could win a Super Bowl. I don't think Baker Mayfield could win a Super Bowl.
When Baker was a rookie, did we think Baker could win a Super Bowl?
Champions Post.
When Baker was a rookie, do you think he could win a Super Bowl?
And I have the benefit of hindsight in this. I didn't say it was a fair question. I said it was a question a listener wanted to answer.
Champions Post.
So now I want you to do it. Answer the question before I get to Gabe and Ashtabula, which will no doubt be an unhinged call that we'll probably have to dump. But either way, go ahead.
Well, let's take that. Let's take the call.
Gabe and Ashtabula, please keep it clean. It's only 6:30 in the morning.
They told me bust on my AP for the time, and so Ken, I agree with you. I think Shedeur's ceiling is much higher. Shedeur is a 5th-round pick. Baker's a Heisman 1st-round pick. So I did a little bit of comparables. I took the liberty of doing it. So Shedeur, considered, could be a Nepo baby, and Baker's family stole money from him. They both have rabid fan bases. You got your Baker bros. You got your Shedeur sexuals. But
Shedorians. That's the name.
My fault.
Judas Priest. You're getting close already.
Shedeur has more of a QB build. He threw for 300 yards last week. He has a rookie tight end as his number 1 receiver. You got Baker, who has Mike Evans. And they're still just stalling out in the playoffs. He's been to the playoffs twice. He threw 2 back-breaking picks at the end. He has chances to win. So I think we see Baker's ceiling is right there. Shedeur, we don't know. Like, I think his ceiling could be higher. And real quick, I got a question for you, actually.
I'm going to have to dump it. You know how this is going to go. So go ahead. Go ahead and say it. What?
Has messing around in the snow got you fired from your coaching job? Hi, this is Sharon.
No. That's I don't want to have to dump these things. This is ridiculous. Jeff in Lakewood. Hello, Jeff.
What's going on? Good job. Jason Lloyd in the house. But that's a tough question you asked,
Jason Lloyd, who's hosting the show but won't answer the question that the listeners want to know.
I got a bone to pick with Jason Lloyd, too. But,
yes.
With Baker, I like Baker, too, man, because I got nothing against the guys, man, trying to survive for their family and do what they got to do for their family. And I do agree with Jason. I believe Baker, if things break right, he can make it to the NFC Championship game. I don't know if he can get to the Super Bowl. And I love Shedeur, but you know what I'm saying? We just got too much of a small sample size. But all we was hearing coming out the camp, he wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? I know Jason Lloyd said his source told him. That's all we heard.
Yeah.
He's not ready. He's not.
The water boy,
not
to my
ready.
right, he was carrying all the water, saying that he
That's all
wasn't
he's
ready.
saying. He's not ready. And I really think, man, if the Browns do the right thing, put the right pieces around him, man, because he's a 5th-round pick, but he's a first-round talent. Everybody know he's not no 5th-round pick. People know football.
So
know
you
he's a
say,
first-round
so you believe
talent.
Shedeur has the higher ceiling?
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. I'm pulling for Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? But we got a small sample size. He just played 3 games.
Jeff, I'm willing to say it. If I'm willing to say it, if you believe it, then why won't you be willing to say it? Just say it.
I'm
Feels
supporting
good.
my man.
Okay. So I'm
I make one
Shedeur.
more point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make one more point.
Yeah, pick
I
your
got a
bone.
point in the situation the next 3 games, and people, man, I'll be 65 years old this August. But the point I say, I've been watching a whole lot of football since the late 60s and the early 70s. And I know the Browns ain't having no good season. But if you think against Chicago, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh the next 3 games, the Browns is not losing. They're going to win one of them games, man. You have to been watching football for decades. The Browns is not losing all 3 of them games. They're going to win one of them games. I'm talking about the next 3.
Do you want Shedeur to be the long-term quarterback?
Oh, most
okay.
definitely,
Then it's
man.
very important. Then it's very important they win one of those games, or 2 or 3 of those games. Jeff, thank you very much for the call. It's very important. I told you got it. And people are going, well, they didn't win. He played well. What are you saying? Evaluation is more important. And I say to this, Jason, it's like, well, if you think there's going to be change and you don't want a quarterback, this is something that the Shedeur fans and the Browns fans and the mix of both in the circle diagram thing, whatever that is, Venn diagram, that's something they can agree on. If you don't want a quarterback, well, take that decision away, because then it makes it, okay, he's played well. He's played well enough to win. Do we need to put other people around? I know it's a big conversation to have, and we don't have a lot of time in this segment for it, but that's kind of how I feel.
Well, we'll have a lot more answers, I think, in a month. It's hard to if he continues to progress and play as well as he did. Like he was great on Sunday. He was great. Brandon Weeden also threw for 300 yards as a rookie. Okay, so it's more than just one 300-yard game. But if he continues to progress week over week over week, yeah, we can have that conversation a month from now. It's just too soon to do it off of one game.
Thank you. 216-474-0092. So you answer the question.
Here's what I would say. How much time we got?
40 seconds.
Baker was emotionally and mentally fragile when he was here, and I don't think Shedeur is. I think Shedeur is much mentally tougher and emotionally tougher than Baker was. And that has a lot to do with playing the position.
100% agree. 100% agree.